Psalm 98, God's salvation and justice proclaimed to all creation. Psalm 98 is a triumphant hymn that joyfully celebrates God's salvation, justice, and kingship, extending an invitation not only to Israel but to all people, and even all of creation, to rejoice in his righteous rule. As part of the group of enthronement psalms, alongside Psalms 96 and 97, it boldly declares the truth that the Lord reigns, encouraging universal worship and recognition of God's sovereign authority. The psalm can be divided into 3 clear sections, each emphasizing a particular aspect of God's reign. The first section focuses on God's saving acts, calling for praise of his marvelous deeds. The call to sing to the Lord a new song reflects a fresh, powerful act of deliverance that demands joyful response. This new song symbolizes a renewal of worship inspired by a recent victory, attributed specifically to God's strength, his right hand and holy arm. The psalmist highlights that God's salvation is not a secret kept for Israel alone but is revealed to all nations. At the same time, God's mercy and faithfulness to Israel are remembered, underscoring his covenantal relationship with his people. The outcome of these divine actions is a universal proclamation: all the ends of the earth have seen the salvation of our God. This wide scope signifies that God's saving power transcends boundaries, inviting all humanity into his redemptive work. This section may celebrate a particular historical deliverance, but it also prophetically points toward the coming of Christ and the global spread of the gospel. The second section issues a vibrant call to worldwide praise, urging all the earth to shout joyfully to the Lord. This scene is filled with music and celebration, where harps, trumpets, and horns accompany the worship of the King. God is recognized not merely as a tribal deity but as the Lord, the King, ruling over all the earth. The tone is jubilant, capturing the appropriate response to a just and victorious monarch whose reign benefits all creation. This universal call to worship finds its fullest expression in the worldwide adoration of Jesus Christ today, where people from every nation join in praising the Lord. The third section personifies creation itself, calling on the sea to roar, rivers to clap, and hills to be joyful. This imaginative depiction shows that even nature responds with celebration to God's coming judgment. Importantly, the psalm affirms that God's judgment is good news because it is righteous and equitable. The coming of the Lord is not a fearful event but one that will bring justice and restoration to a broken world. This hopeful outlook looks forward to the second coming of Christ, when he will return to establish peace and set all things right. The natural world, which groans under the weight of sin, as noted in Romans 8 verse 22, is depicted here as rejoicing in God's righteous reign, reflecting the cosmic scope of God's salvation and justice. The key themes of Psalm 98 include the call to sing a new song as a fresh response to God's saving acts, the celebration of his victorious power to save his people, the invitation for universal praise from all nations in creation, and the assurance that God's judgment is righteous and worthy of celebration. Each theme points toward God's encompassing sovereignty and the joy that comes from his just and merciful rule. In the New Testament, Psalm 98 finds its fulfillment in Jesus Christ. Mary's song in Luke 1 verses 54 to 55 echoes the psalm's emphasis on God remembering his mercy, while Paul cites similar psalms in Romans 15 verses 9 to 11 to demonstrate that Gentiles will join in worshiping God. Furthermore, Revelation 5 verse 9 speaks of a new song sung to the Lamb who redeems people from every tribe and nation, echoing the universal and joyous worship envisioned in Psalm 98. In summary, Psalm 98 is a vibrant celebration of God's past acts of salvation, a present call to worship, and a hopeful anticipation of future justice. It reminds believers that God's victory is real, his salvation extends to all nations, his reign is righteous, and his coming is a source of joy for all creation. This psalm calls everyone to recognize the Lord's kingship and to join in the triumphant praise of the God who saves and judges with perfect justice.
Psalm 98, a psalm. O sing to the Lord a new song, for he has done marvelous things. His right hand and his holy arm have gained him the victory. The Lord has made known his salvation. His righteousness he has revealed in the sight of the nations. He has remembered his mercy and his faithfulness to the house of Israel. All the ends of the earth have seen the salvation of our God. Shout joyfully to the Lord, all the earth. Break forth in song, rejoice and sing praises. Sing to the Lord with the harp and the sound of a psalm, with trumpets and the sound of a horn. Shout joyfully before the Lord the King. Let the sea roar and all its fullness, the world and those who dwell in it. Let the rivers clap their hands. Let the hills be joyful together before the Lord, for he is coming to judge the earth. With righteousness he shall judge the world, and the peoples with equity.